What if in a couple of decades, your district could operate itself with little human involvement? Meaning no humans would carry out simple tasks like paying the bills or collecting leases from tenants, but it would be a piece of code doing that. That's what a DAO is, a decentralized autonomous organization. A few lines of code that can automate simple human actions upon a consensus of a community. And those lines of code are called a smart contract. Smart contracts are the DNA of any DAO because they define the rules of how an organization should function, similarly to how our DNA tells our bodies how to grow and develop. Why are DAOs called decentralized? Because they operate on the blockchain technology, and you can get to know more about it in our channel soon. But let's get into the district example to understand how DAOs function. Usually, in the beginning of its existence, a DAO rolls out a few millions of tokens to establish voting rights for its community. A uniquely created governance token enables people to vote on any suggested items to add to the smart contract. A governance token can also give a right to attend exclusive events in today's DAOs. There are also other types of tokens that can be used in a DAO. You could use a utility token to buy a specific service from your neighbor. Rent a room? Buy their repair services? Why not? Simply use your utility tokens. And what if your community wants to share profits from a service it can provide together? The community members can share the profits made if they each own a security token. This type of token ensures the rights to ownership and can well serve as a way to distribute generated profit to the shareholders of the DAO. If this sounds compelling, there's more to explore. What are the special strengths of DAOs? Well, it's both promising and controversial that DAOs are almost trustless. Once the code rules are set up and people come on board, the code executes itself, and no human being can interfere with that. The hard-coded rules can't change on a whim of any single person and can only be changed with a consensus of the community and voting using governance tokens. That can sound both great and worrying because, firstly, how can human activity be coordinated by a little code? And secondly, usually the amount of tokens the member holds equals their number of voting rights. Ethereum founder Vitalik Buterin is an advocate for trying to solve this problem, but more about it in our other videos. Getting back to the strengths, DAOs cannot be really shut down because they operate using blockchain technology. To put it simply, blockchain stores the same copies of information on many computers, and this way, it is decentralized by nature. So even if original developers decide to leave a DAO, it can continue to work. Last but not least, utility and governance tokens potentially make DAO tokens become much more valuable than any other token created just for quick profit gain. Because DAO tokens often have a very specific community objective or a real utility use. But what are the weaknesses of DAOs which prevent them from becoming a mainstream way to coordinate human activity? Well, number one, there are no business secrets in DAOs, and that can be seen both as a positive and a negative. The transparency is good, but whatever DAO concept someone thinks of, the running code of it is visible to anyone, and so a DAO cannot capitalize on researched insights or thought-of business models. Usual businesses can and do so on a daily basis. This special feature of being open and transparent can prevent the sustainability of a DAO, so the belief in its value and applications in the real world is very important for any DAO survival. Number 2, DAOs can, unfortunately, be vulnerable to attacks. In fact, there's a historic crypto community event that best illustrates this idea. The DAO, a venture capital fund, was crowdfunded in 2016. It ran independently on the Ethereum blockchain, and if you don't know what the Ethereum blockchain is, you can watch more content about it soon on our channel. The DAO fund managed to attract 20,000 investors because of its exciting mission to provide a decentralized business model for organizing both commercial and non-profit bodies. It pulled around $150 million in Ethereum. However, one day, something unexpected happened. One of the accounts in the DAO fund discovered a way to siphon off $50 million worth of Ethereum. You will see a different mention of this sum in the media as the value of Ethereum continually fluctuates. Matthew Leasing explores this story in a peculiar detail in his book Out of the Ether, but to summarize, this was a seriously trust-damaging event that could have become the end of all decentralized autonomous organizations. It revealed a strong vulnerability of the Ethereum network that the DAO was running on. Fortunately, the community quickly grasped the vulnerability in the code. With a consensus of the community, Ethereum creators hard-forked the network, which meant that a new, better version of the network was born. The new Ethereum had all of the losses restored using a refund smart contract, and the old network remained with the vulnerability in it, nowadays called Ethereum Classic. This was a controversial but community-nourishing move of the co-founders Vitalik Buterin and a long list of others. After resolving the crisis and restoring the belief in the technology, Ethereum has become the second largest cryptocurrency network in the world after Bitcoin. So the DAO concept did not die. It was revived with the belief of its supporters and continued to thrive. Lastly, Mirror is something that can be interesting for creatives. Any blogger here can turn their pieces of writing into NFTs for the fans to buy. And an NFT, by the way, is a non-fungible token, which means that it's a unique digital asset that can be traded and applied to different uses in cyberspace. So, what is the future of DAOs? Probably only those who participate in the ecosystem can really determine it, and that's both the challenge and beauty of it. There's still lots to explore for the Smart District and the growing number of global practitioners of DAOs, and CryptoSummary will be here to continuously cover the developments of the crypto space. Please know that all of your support is welcome. Like and subscribe to this channel to continue your education on crypto topics, or drop a comment about something you would like us to talk about in the future.